Hi, Tanna here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about the power of your thoughts and how they can have a chain reaction in a positive direction or a negative direction, depending on where you're focused. And I'm going to be sharing an experience with you, a couple of experiences recently where I was doing both. Because here's what happens. Sometimes we are thinking, this is a crappy day. And really, it's not. Usually something has happened early on in the day that was unwanted, and it put us kind of in a mood, threw us off of our game, and then we weren't focused on trying to get back into a better feeling place, so it just attracted more stuff that was unwanted and probably negative. And so at the end of the day, you're thinking, this was a crappy day. And there are really no crappy days. There are days filled with crappy thoughts that keep attracting crappy situations. And on the other side, there are great days filled with great thoughts and happy thoughts that keep attracting wonderful situations. We just have to learn to pay attention. And I'm going to share with you a couple of experiences. One was on the more unwanted side where things just got away from me. A couple weeks ago, most of you know that I'm my mother's full-time caregiver. And she was actually in the hospital for something very minor a couple weeks ago, just overnight. And it wasn't that big a deal, but of course when something like that happens, it's scary. I'm nervous, I'm tense, and it kind of threw me off. So I wasn't in a really positive frame of mind. I was trying to focus on the positive, that she was doing well, it wasn't serious, she was only in the hospital one night, it was great. But there was enough of a momentum to attract some unwanted things. And it started with, she was in the hospital on a Thursday night. So Friday morning is when I post these videos, and I usually schedule them ahead of time to post on my Facebook page. And for some reason, the link was not uploading properly, and I couldn't get it to work, and I tried over and over again. And then I started to acknowledge, I'm like, all right, this is because I have been in kind of a weird negative space for a day or so. And so I actually just had to post the link to my YouTube channel and direct people over there to find that day's video. So no big deal, but still it was a glitch that was a little annoying. And and then that same morning, I have this special coffee. I don't know if you've ever heard of bulletproof coffee, but it's this amazing, I'm not going to go into it now, but it's awesome. But you have to blend it in the morning. And so I use my magic bullet, and you're not supposed to put really hot stuff in there, and so I usually try to put some cooler liquid to cool it down, but still I guess I didn't do that. And when I went to turn it on and blend my drink, it just exploded all over the sink, all over me. I was dressed, ready to go to the hospital to check on my mom. Coffee everywhere. And so that's okay. We got her home, and things were okay. And then later in the day, I was in the kitchen washing dishes, and literally the faucet broke off in my hand, just like this. I was like, what? It just broke off in my hand. And again, so I'm not acknowledging, okay, this is here because of me. I learned that great phrase from my teacher, Michael Auger, the how-to guy for law of attraction. And we have to acknowledge everything that we attract, and acknowledge that we attracted it with the thoughts that we were thinking and the vibes that we were sending out. So I acknowledge that, but no, it doesn't stop there. I didn't realize that the caulking on the back of my kitchen sink was all gone. I kind of knew it was gone, but I didn't think about the fact that water was going down under the sink. And now that the faucet had broken off, water was still coming out, but it was coming out very close to the wall. So I could turn it on and off and I could use it, but it was just like, a little directionless fountain that was there. So I noticed later, God, it was a few days later, that I thought my feet are wet. I was standing in front of the sink, and I looked under there and noticed that the hole under the sink was flooded. So I finally figured it out, and I taped it up, and I fixed that. But and then and this continued a whole week later. Then my friend who does my hair was so just, my roots were crazy. I needed a trim really badly, and my birthday was coming up. I was going to be doing stuff for my birthday weekend, and she was going to be doing my hair right before the weekend, and she got sick. And it's not her fault, and I wasn't mad. I was a little disappointed, but I wasn't mad. These things happen. But again, I thought, okay, I've got to really clean up my energy, so especially before the weekend when I was supposed to be having fun. So I made a very conscious shift in my thought processes, in how I was feeling, was focusing on things that made me feel good, thinking thoughts that made me feel good, getting excited about the events that we had coming up. And I also just started reading Marianne Williamson's book, now I can't remember the title, The Law of Divine Compensation, which is all about love and living from a place of love so that you can attract miracles, including abundance in every area of your life, specifically financially. So I was feeling really good reading this book, and I took this energy of being in a state of love and expecting miracles into my weekend. So one of the things that we had planned, obviously, Disneyland, mostly, I love Disneyland. So of course, my husband and I went to Disneyland for my birthday, and we wound up staying in the Disneyland Hotel on a Sunday night. And if any of you are familiar with the event Dapper Day at Disneyland, it happens 2 times a year where people dress up in usually retro garb, sometimes Disney stuff, but it's just a really fun event. And our friend Charles Phoenix has been hosting events there for the last couple of February Dapper Days. And we knew he was going to be there, so we sent him a message and said, hey, we're going to be there if you want to have a drink. And one last weird thing that happened, I don't consider this negative, but it was just interesting. We were going to go antiquing in a little town in Orange County that I love. And when we got there, it had been raining and the power was out in most of the town. So a lot of the places were closed. The ones that weren't closed were dark, and their cash registers weren't working, so we couldn't shop. And I usually get a Starbucks coffee and a cupcake from a little place there, and so I couldn't get those. And I said, well, let's just go over to the hotel and check in, because there's plenty to do there. So as soon as we were driving into the hotel, our friend Charles texted us a picture of us and 2 of our couple friends that happened to be there. We didn't know that they were going to be there. So we wound up meeting up with them for drinks, and actually before that, this was kind of the beginning where I was like, little miracles, yay, things are shifting. There was a gift my husband wanted to get me at Disneyland that apparently was only available in the park. Now, he doesn't have a pass, so he can't go in unless he buys a ticket to go into the shop, which he wasn't going to do. And at this point, this item did happen to be available in a store at downtown Disney and in the Disneyland Hotel. And I was glad he didn't get it, because if I'm with him and he pays cash, I have an annual pass, so we get a discount on merchandise and food. So we went to the hotel lobby to the ATM to get cash, and we were walking by the gift shop in the hotel lobby, and I was saying out loud, I said, wouldn't it be nice if they had this and I saw the thing that I would show it to you, but it's too big. It's a sign that says Disneyland, like the original sign from where you used to drive in before they changed it over with California Adventure. So those of you who grew up with Disneyland know what I'm talking about. And so there it was, right there, easy, convenient. We didn't have to walk anywhere else. So we got it, took it up to our room, went and joined our friends. And there's a little bar there called Trader Sam's, and so we had some tropical drinks there. And we decided to do a spontaneous bar crawl for my birthday. So we went over to the Grand Californian Hotel, to their Hearthside lobby and lobby lounge, and we had a drink there. And I was already wearing my birthday button. If you're not familiar, at Disneyland they have all these buttons for different occasions, and if it's your birthday, they'll give you a button with your name on it, and everywhere you go, everyone will wish you a happy birthday, and sometimes you'll get maybe a complimentary dessert or something like that. And so we had our drinks there, and right before the waiter brought the bill, he brought cupcakes for everyone for my birthday. So I was like, yay, another little miracle. So now I'm kind of on a roll with the little miracles. So that was really cool. And then we moved on to the bar at the restaurant where my husband and I were going to be having dinner. We had kind of a late reservation at 9 o'clock. And so everybody joined us for drinks there. And then they decided to join us for dinner, which was awesome. So I had to change our reservation from 2 people to 7, and they actually seated us earlier than our original reservation. And they also had a special deal going on for Orange County that week. It's called Restaurant Week, and if you don't have this in your area, there are restaurants that will participate and create a special prefix menu for a special price for this 1 week. And usually the proceeds go to some kind of charity. And so they were participating in that, and I told everybody, go get cash because I can use my pass and get a discount. And the waiter said, I can't give a discount for the special menu this week. And so I thought, okay, well, that's fine. So we finished dinner, and I give him my pass to apply to whatever we can do, and he brought it back, and he said, you know what, I'm just going to give the discount to the whole table. So, yay, another miracle. So then, yes, the miracles continue. You can see the benefit of really focusing your attention on the positive as opposed to letting it run amok with the negative. So after dinner, our two couple friends went home. It was late at this point. Now Charles, because of participating in the event for Dapper Day, he had a complimentary ticket to Disneyland. He also had a room at the Grand Californian, so he was staying overnight too. So this is 11 o'clock at night at this point. And he's like, oh, I've got this ticket. And my husband said, you guys should go in the park. Go and ride on the Haunted Mansion. It's my favorite ride. And so he said, okay, I got a second win. Let's go. So we go and I walk in. I'm all excited. And then he cannot get in. There's an error with his ticket. They call over a supervisor. Nope, there's an error. Can't let you in. So we were disappointed, but oh well. So we were walking away, and a cast member, a Disneyland employee, came over and he said, well, what's the problem? And we told him, oh, it's not working. He said, oh, I'll let you in. So another miracle. So he lets us in. We run over, we go on the Haunted Mansion, we run through Fantasyland, we go on Alice in Wonderland, and at this point I noticed my husband has left me a voicemail. He said, you know, stay in the park as long as you can. The park closed at midnight. He said, try and be there at midnight so that you're at Disneyland on your birthday, which I thought was so cool. I'm so lucky. That's a continuing miracle. My husband, he's amazing. So I think we left the park at like 12:02. So you know, it was just one miracle after another. And there was one little one the next day. It had been raining quite a bit, and in the morning it was pouring. But as soon as we checked out of our room and put stuff in our car and whatever to the park, it cleared up, and it was nice, and it was perfect weather for the whole day. So I just want to show you the contrast between letting something unwanted. I don't like to label everything negative, because what might be negative to somebody is not negative to somebody else. So something unwanted that lowers your vibration and makes you feel kind of icky, you want to really pay attention to that, because it can have this chain reaction and attract all the stuff that you don't want and leave you going, what the hell, you know, this day sucks. And you know, it doesn't. It's just your thoughts suck. And then it creates a vibration that sucks. So you want to consciously be paying attention to your thoughts all the time and make sure that there's something there that makes you feel good, that you are shifting into a better feeling place. If something pulls you off track, and sometimes it can take a minute, but it's possible. It's always possible. And if you're really kind of stuck in that place, laugh about it, because that's going to raise your vibration. Because you know, all of this stuff that was happening to me was so ridiculous that I did look at it and go, oh, this is. It became humorous at one point, because I'm like, this is so stupid, all this stuff that I'm attracting, and I know this stuff. I know this stuff. I know why I'm attracting this. And so when I finally did shift my attention, look at all the amazing stuff that showed up, all the little miracles. And we could be attracting these miracles every day. You can be attracting miracles every day. So just make a point of that, whether you need to leave yourself little reminders, little stickies, put a reminder on your phone every hour, like, where are my thoughts? How am I feeling? And check in with yourself and make sure that you're leaning towards the good feeling stuff. If you're not already there, just make sure that it's more positive. You're focusing on the positive. You're appreciating it. You're acknowledging it. You're enjoying it. And then you're just going to keep attracting more and more good stuff, which a lot of times, like I said, it's going to show up and feel like miracles. Miracle after miracle. It is possible. So thank you for letting me share. I know this is a little bit longer today, but thank you for letting me share these stories, and I hope that you can relate and that it helped you in some way to acknowledge, like, oh yeah, that's happened to me, and now I know what to do. And hopefully these videos lift you up a little bit on Fridays, because like I said, I so love doing them for you. I love spending this time with you. And if you do enjoy them, please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And if you feel so inspired, if you think this might help somebody, forward to your family or friends. And if you would like these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, tannamarshall.com, and join the mailing list. And there's a free gift for you there. So, you know, if you have any experiences like this that you'd like to share them below. Everybody would love to read about them. We can all learn from each other and help each other in this journey where daily we're trying to do the best we can. So here's one way that you can have a great day every day if you just stay conscious and pay attention. So with that, I just want to wish you a great weekend. Pay attention to how you're feeling this weekend. Make sure it's good, and I'll see you next week.